type of nouns. In your textbook, there are 5 types of nouns given, their definition and their examples. So the first one is common noun. As the name suggests, it is a general name of a person, place, animal or a thing. For example, in the case of person, if we say boy or girl or man, woman, so all these are common nouns or general names. When I say man, it can be any man. I am not particularly specifying which man it is. I simply say the man is very tall. So it can be any man. When I tell you that the man is very tall, one of you might be imagining your father who is a tall man. Maybe another person who is listening to this, he might be imagining maybe his neighbor or someone who is very tall. And if I am the one who is hearing, if somebody is telling me the man is very tall, I'll probably think of my brother who is a very tall guy. So when I simply say, or when a person simply says man, that means it can be any man. There is no reference to which man the person is actually talking about. Just man, that means it's a general name. It's a common name for a group of people. So man can be any man, or if I say a boy, it can be any boy. There is no particular reference to which boy I am talking about. Now in the case of place, if I say the city is so beautiful, one of you might imagine maybe Trivandrum city, whereas someone else who is listening, he might be imagining maybe the city of Delhi, or someone else might be imagining some other city. So when I simply say city, each of you will have a city in your mind and you will be imagining that city. But instead, if I tell you the city Changanasheri or the city Pathanamthitta, then everyone knows that, well, I am referring to a particular city, and so you all will be thinking of that city alone. But instead, if I simply say city, you can imagine any city. One of you can imagine Trivandrum, one of you can imagine Delhi, and so on. So if I simply say city or country or state, that means it can be any place. There is no reference to a particular place. It can be any. And in the case of animals, if I say a cat, a duck, wolf, dog, so here it can be any duck. If I simply say duck, you can imagine any duck. Maybe one of you will be imagining a duck that you saw while you were traveling to some places, the duck that you saw last while you were traveling to some places. Whereas some others, they might be imagining the picture of a duck that they saw last day in Balrama or in some children's magazine. So when I simply say duck, you can imagine any duck. There is no particular reference to which duck it is. It can be any duck anywhere in any part of the world. So it is a common name for a group of animals that look, a group of animals or a group of birds that look similar. So you know how a duck looks like. So all ducks in the world, they are called as ducks. But instead, if I say mini duck, or if you have a story right in front of you and there is a character, or in the story there is a duck whose name is Minnie, and if I say mini duck, then well, you understand that I am referring to that particular duck in the story. When I say mini duck, it's crystal clear that I am referring to the particular duck in that story. So if I call it by a name, that means I am referring to a particular thing. But instead, if I simply say duck, that means it can be any duck anywhere in the world. The same way, if I say cat, it can refer to any cat. But instead, if I say the pussy cat, or if I have a pet cat at home and if its name is Pussy, and if I am saying pussy cat, that means I am referring to the particular cat in my house. So duck, cat, wolf, dog, etc. are general names of a particular species of an animal. And in the case of a thing, if I say eraser or if I say bag, for example, if I tell you bring me a bag, so that means it can refer to any bag. I am just telling you bring me a bag, so you can bring me any bag. That doesn't mean that I need a particular bag. You can bring any bag. I am just telling you bring me a bag. So there is no reference to which bag you must bring. But instead, if I tell you bring me that red bag, so there you understand that I am referring to a particular bag. When I say bring me that red bag, that means there is a bag that is red in color kept somewhere over there, and I want you to bring that particular bag. There are many other bags near it. There is a blue bag, there is a white bag, there is a black bag, everything near it. But when I particularly say bring me that red bag, it means I am referring to that particular bag and I need only that one. Instead, if I simply say bring me a bag, that means there is no reference to which bag you must bring. It can be any bag. You can bring any bag from anywhere. I am not referring to any particular bags. So the common noun, it is actually the general name of a person, place, animal or a thing. And we were discussing with examples what a common noun is. So in the case of person, it can be boy, girl, man, woman, etc. In the case of place, it can be city,